Hello and good afternoon from the Newton University in Prague. My name is Ondřej Benda. I'm a lecturer here in our international program, and I will also be your guide for today. Welcome to our open house day. Today we are going to talk about our international program and what it actually feels like to be our international student who studies and perhaps even lives in Prague. If you have any questions, please send them to us through our comments channel on Facebook and YouTube, and we will answer them at the end of the program. But before we get to the questions, we will have to talk about the various aspects of being a student at the Newton University. And to help me with that, I have invited several guests that each can talk about different aspect of that matter. And our first guest is Anna Krausová, who is our Chief International Officer. Welcome.
Thank you, Ondřej, for having me here.
It's a pleasure. Anna, I would like to ask at the very first, let's start from the beginning. When and why was Newton University founded, and on what foundation has it been built?
So Newton University was founded in the year 2004 already, so we're entering our 20th year of teaching and learning and innovating in management, teaching and research. It was founded at a time when there was a real gap in the Czech education market for the kind of learning for those who couldn't wait to start their own companies, wanted to really get into the private sector or in the business world. And I know it's a cliche, but we really guide our students on this journey of self-growth and self-discovery. And we are with them all and every step of the way. So those are the foundations that Newton was founded on.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Now, if I may add something to it, Newton University is one of the fastest growing universities in our country. And in the last 5 years, our student numbers have almost doubled. Why do you think Newton University is so successful, and what makes it different from the other universities?
Well, I think, and I firmly believe that it's this core approach that we have that explains our attractivity so much, is really this holistic approach to education that guides students on their academic, professional, but also personal journey of growth. And I think it's really summed up in our core concept of a business university for life. On the first hand, our business education is another sort of standard business school education in itself. Of course, we offer sort of modern management and business education, but there's this unique blend that combines management and business studies with psychology and other subjects that really help on this personal growth journey. You will hear from our colleagues that will join us later, that you mentioned already, everything that the Newton ecosystem offers in that aspect. I think part of that attractivity is also really that individual approach that we pay to our students. We have won the Faculty of the Year Student Award 6 times already, and there really is this tailored approach to each and every Newton student here. And I think the last part is really that combination of, well, I suppose one way of putting it is that, the learning doesn't stop in the classroom and outside of the classroom. You really have to step outside of your comfort zone to learn and to grow. And we really focus on this for life aspect with practice-oriented education, endurance and resilience building that we really believe every modern entrepreneur and manager needs.
Yes, that's right. I've been a lecturer here for years, and I can really feel that kind of a spirit here. Now, the one thing that students very often ask us is, okay, you're the fastest growing university, the number of students is increasing every year. This kind of university must have some impact on the outside world. And we do, right?
Of course. I suppose it's difficult to sum up all the different ways that we have impact in just 20 or 30 seconds. But I suppose the best example is really the sort of constant presence of our students and alumni. For example, in the Czech Forbes 30 under 30 ranking, nearly 1 in 20 sort of most successful young Czech entrepreneurs were actually educated at Newton University. But it's of course not just our alumni, but also our students who already have or start their own businesses once they're with us, and this includes everything from creating an innovative platform for informal business networking to selling the very ecological edible coffee cup where you can have your coffee and eat the cup afterwards.
That's right. I remember that project. Now, Newton is offering also an international program. It has clearly some international aspirations, but that kind of thing cannot be done without international partners. Do we have some?
Of course. I'd like us to be known as a sort of global school, bringing the best of the world to the Czech Republic, opening the doors to international students to Europe and Czechia, but of course also Czech and Slovak students to the world. Newton students can of course take part in the classic Erasmus exchange projects, but every year we offer opportunities to study abroad or participate in summer schools from anywhere from Taiwan to the United States.
Great. Thank you very much. And I think it's time we start talking about the other aspects of studying at the university too, because Newton University is not just the university, it's a whole ecosystem. Let's have a look at a short video that will introduce this topic to us.
Thank you.
And hello again. Following our short break and the short video, now we start talking about the Newton University as a whole ecosystem. And as you will see, my guests have changed. I am here now with Ludmila Navratilova. Hello. Ludmila is our academic director for international programs. And I will start with a question. Ludmila, what opportunities do Newton University students have outside of the academics? What can the university offer?
Thank you for the invitation, Andrzej. So students, they've got so many opportunities here because the Newton is not only about giving classes, but to offer cooperation with many colleagues in different projects. For example, Newton Business Accelerator, I will probably talk it more later about it also. We also offer mentoring to our students. Students can choose what kind of career they want to follow during their studies, during their internships. So our education system is connected as much as possible with the practical training also in the companies.
Mm-hmm. Does it then mean that if I want to find an internship or if I want to work during my studies, the university and particularly the Career Center can help me with that?
Yes, for sure. We can offer to students internal or external type of internships. Internal, you can choose from possibilities how to cooperate, how to work with Newton University. And external, we've got many partners that they want to also need young blood in the many positions, interns, to really know, to get new ideas in their businesses, to understand what is Gen Z, how they are thinking, their future employees, and for sure they also want future employees already work for them from young age to also cooperate with them better when they are full-time in positions.
I see. So if I want to find a regular work placement, regular job, we have companies that are contracted, and is there some kind of a pool I can try to approach or choose from, or do we just have random companies that approach us also?
Yes, both possibilities we can offer. You can find from the list. You can see the list of the companies that we cooperate with. Every year the offers are different and are very demanded by students. And also, even if you want to pick your own company to work for, it can be always part of your practical internship that will be needed for the studies. So this is very fine that you can choose whatever you want to be connected directly to your program that you study. So, if it's something in marketing or business or accounting company, to bring you the most for your also studies.
Mm-hmm. So all these internships and work during the studies, they actually give our students a head start with their career, right?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. What kind of companies do we have contracted like that?
We've got 100, 200 companies at least. Nestle, for example, Coca-Cola is a great example, or Philips company, where students also in the past like to go for their internships.
Wow, those are quite famous names, and I'm pretty sure it must be quite interesting for our students. Now, for many of the students who are starting up with their career, it's kind of a daunting task. They don't know what to do. We can help them with that, right? We have some mentors.
Yes, we've got mentors. Most of them, they are part of our academic staff, our colleagues. So our students knows them from the different fields of study of the different courses. And always we try to find the best fit, the best match between the mentee and mentor to really fulfill the needs of the students, because every need of the student is different, to really help them, to motivate them in what they particularly need.
Yeah. So to find a mentor, is it a complicated task? What do the students have to do in order to find the right one?
We will send the document to fill what they want, what they expect from the mentor, what they need to really improve, what they want to work on, and after we will match the mentors together. So this is the point, how to find the best solution, and how to move each student individually, and I would say that even in each year, the way of improvement of each student is different, because at the beginning many students ask like, how should I study well to pass, to go through the first year of the studies, and after the first year or summer semester they are more interested in their career growth. So this is usually changing a lot.
Okay, now this is all about helping the students find jobs, find work opportunities for external companies. But what if a student wants to do something of his own, or her own for that matter? We need to be gender minded here, because Czech language is slightly different here than the English one. So what if a student wants to start a project of his or her own?
Yes, we support students to not only think about, but to run their own businesses. So that's one of the reasons why we started to we opened a Newton Business Accelerator, or even you can cooperate with other projects at Newton. Now we are at Newton TV studio, where also many of the students created their own programs, shows, talks, or even the Newton Minds that where other colleagues, international colleagues, like gave a speech or were interviewed to really understand some interesting topics, or to introduce some interesting topics. So we try to always involve students to show them how the business works and how they can participate at our product to make it better, and to also do that internship, as I mentioned at the beginning.
Now, we have mentioned here before, when I spoke with Anna, that several of our graduates, they're in Forbes 30 under 30 list. Many of our students and graduates start their own successful businesses. And starting a successful business is not really easy tasks, but I know that our students very often come with brilliant ideas. How can we actually help them to materialize those business ideas into something that works, that can have impact on the world and can generate profit?
That was the reason why one of the most successful projects after the COVID era, and the students were a little bit not sure what to do, not only study, why we open a Newton Business Accelerator, because it's one of the possibilities how to help them, how to support them with the business mentoring, to really do step by step through the really early beginning project, to really know who to talk about the specific topic, what experts they can use, they can find at Newton, how really whole university and business accelerator can help them. One of my students who were studying as an exchange student last year at US, he came back, finished the bachelor thesis with me. He graduated 2-3 months ago, and he's one of the a member of the Newton Business Accelerator with his very successful project. So this is a very nice way how to show that students, if they really want to be included, they can manage it and they can have great results, not only in the Czech Republic but abroad as well.
Okay, and would you tell us about some of the really interesting projects that have been accelerated through this channel?
It was one of the projects of my student Wojciech Szobek. He was like thinking, because he's an Apple fan, and he was always like thinking how to have his great working space, not to be full of mess, but to settle everything on the desk, the charger, the things for your in general working space. So he started to create the charger for phone to be aesthetic, design it at amazing design for especially Apple users, but for everyone who wants to have these things quite very well organized. So this was one of the projects that was also supported by Newton Angel Fund last year.
Okay, now you mentioned Newton Angel Fund. Before we spoke about the Newton Accelerator. What's the connection between the two?
Yes, Newton Business Accelerator helps many students who are interested to be mentored and to be really supported, especially do it. Yeah.
So with the know-how.
With the know-how, and Angel Fund supports students financially at the beginning, at early beginning. Really, the best students who can really go through the acceleration process very well, and they really work on the project like to be ready for the market entrance. So this is like usually 2, 3. It depends the projects.
So the best projects from the accelerator, they can get funding from the fund. Wow,
yes.
That's quite amazing.
Yes.
I think we have a video here about the Newton Angel Fund. Why don't we have a look at it?
Okay, for sure.
Did you know that Newton University offers a business acceleration program? Here it is. It's the place where we do business. You can come to explore your business ideas. You can work with mentors, or you can move your business forward. So come to join us at Newton Business Accelerator.
Most talented students start their own businesses, and as you can see, we have changed the guest here. My next guest is Jérôme Dumets, who is our Global Business Management lecturer. He teaches in our international program, and we are going to talk about what it actually feels like to be the student here. No, not what it feels like to be the student here, but what it means to study the international program. And I think we should really start with the general information. So could you please tell us more about what is the English program for the for the undergraduate studies? Who is it for? And what does it focus on? What's the direction of the program?
Sure. So, hi, Andre. It was nice to be with you. The Global Business Management program is the bachelor program in English that the university is proposing. It is a 3-year program, so very standard, accredited, very important, by the Ministry of Education. And it is for any students interested in business in an international environment. It's called Global Business and Management, and this is essentially what we propose. So it's an undergraduate program that can after lead to master studies or working. Just before you talked about how many students actually end up doing their own businesses. So we try to combine those two, the theoretical academic aspect and practical approach. So this after who are our students, it's actually difficult to give a simple answer, because we do have really a vast variety of applicants and students, from students, local students who just end up their high school and just start some program, to some seasoned professionals who, after a couple of years of running their own business or working for a business, decide to go back to school to get some theoretical and I would say more intellectual knowledge. We do have some students who come on site. We'll talk about that. We've got some students who are actually following from a distance because of geographical or family reasons. So a bit of a mixed, and it's open to anyone interested in business, but with an international aspect in English.
Mm-hmm. Great. English. Now, what topics or what areas are going to be covered during those 3 years of study, and how graduating from this program will actually help to fulfill ambitions of our students?
So the program is designed with the objectives of simultaneously fulfilling the requirements of the Ministry of Education. So in the Czech Republic, we can't just propose programs that are just, there are some rules to follow. So we are going to have all the usual courses that are essential for business, from economics, management, HR and statistics, macroeconomics and so on. But also we keep in mind our objective of preparing students for real business. We achieve that in various ways, simultaneous actually, not excluding, with some lecturers who, a lot of them comes from the practice. All right, so they have a dual background of lecturers and practitioners, but also with topics that are clearly practical orientated. Some courses that will be, for instance, focusing on specific countries, entry strategy, and so on. So, and other topics more linked on psychology, for instance, which is very important in management, in order to prepare the future managers to real life situations. Mm-hmm. That's what we try to do that. It's a mix of lectures and seminars, with the seminars being very important because you're in smaller groups where you can interact with the other students, but with the teacher also. So it's also meant to stimulate the minds. It's an active program. We expect students to be committed to, and not just be committed from an intellectual perspective, but also with their energy and participation and so on. This is something we believe is very important, because that will create later on the networking that is often what is the extra benefits of such international program.
I see. But you said that the students can study either in person here, physically in our classrooms, and also online. What is the difference between the two?
Yeah,
is there a difference?
Yeah, there is a difference. It's actually a question that is more interesting than it seems. So on the one hand, it is the same program. So it's not like a duplicate and so on. We have one program. So if you have a class of marketing, for instance, there will be a class of marketing with a real teacher and who will be on site in front of students. So the program is essentially an on-site program. But we also offer the opportunity for students to study not on site. So we have all our courses are actually hybrid courses. So it means they are all filmed live, and the film is available, the recording is transmitted live, or we've got a series of video systems for that. And so the students who are remote can follow the class while it takes place. And so it's not like recording, or it's not just some podcast. It's just a class live, which is very much happening the way people work nowadays, where you got part of the team work on location in some meeting rooms, and you've got part of the team that will be working home office, for instance. We have a almost third option that is going to be launched this year, with actually the possibility to follow the program, which on site is in Prague, but we have opened a global classroom in Brno, where students who wish to follow the program, but they don't want to come to Prague for whatever reasons, and they don't really feel like following the class at home, have the possibility to meet in a real classroom on our campus in Brno with other students in the same group. And so we will have 3 types of students following simultaneously the same courses: the on-site students, the students who study remotely. Just to go till the end of your question, those who study remotely usually do it for family reasons or geographical reasons. You live in some places far away. But there will be also a group who will be studying hybridly, but will be having a social interaction in Brno.
I see. So the interactivity of the actual learning process is basically ensured, even though students study from, who knows, America.
Yeah, well, after you got time zones, but I mean, it's their thing. We do have some students that are actually very far away and sometimes have a bit of red eyes because of that. But no, the idea is we stick to our mission of being a business university for life, where when you get to work in a modern company, you have people working on your projects in all 4 corners of the world. So the headquarters usually has most on-site colleagues, but you do have some groups, and the content remains the same.
Yeah. So if I decided to study in our international program, what would be the basic requirements in terms of my education and also in terms of my English knowledge?
For education, so it's a bachelor program, so you need to have the equivalent of A-level, so a high school diploma that needs to be recognized by the Czech education system, and a strong motivation to study business. That will be the requirement. For English, and this is very important because students who are not native speakers often hesitate with application in an English program. People are a bit scared because, of course, it's one thing to follow English lessons in high school and to go on holidays and speak a little bit and follow lectures, exams, and so on. But in reality, it usually works much better than anticipated. Students discover that the English they speak is sufficient to listen and to study, and it will increase over the time. So, I mean, we do check for English. I mean, you need to speak English, that's obvious. But there is room for improvement, because we also believe that when you start an English taught program, you need to end this program speaking better English. So you do have also some English lessons that are available for those needed. Best is to apply and ask questions. During the application process, you have the possibility, of course, you'll be interviewed, so you have the possibility to ask questions, and we'll be very fair and honest with you. But most of the time, motivated students will overcome that and will be able to follow their studies in English and overcome their fear.
All right. Now, what if I wanted to apply, but I haven't graduated from my high school yet?
It's a very good idea. The earlier, the better. So, I mean, a good time, I would say the best time to apply is today, the second best time is tomorrow. Now, it's a long process, so it's a good idea during your last year of studies to inquire about it. Very good those of you today who are with us on this open day, we will organize more, so you can come back, you can ask more questions, take your time. But it's a good idea to apply, because during the application process, there's a series of steps to follow, where there will be some interviews, some documents asked, and so on. The earlier you do it, the better it is. Also for your peace of mind, because, well, you need to be accepted, and the earlier you've got the confirmation you're accepted, the better you can enjoy your last year of studies. But if you already graduated last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you're welcome. Never too late to study.
All right. So what is the exact procedure? And are there any recommendations and tips for the applicants?
Yeah, it depends a bit where you are for the tips, but essentially everything is done online. You need to go on the website, look for the application page. You enter the information we ask you, we get back to you, we just check you're a real person, and so on. And then there is a series of questions that need to be answered, documents that need to be fulfilled. Nothing impossible. For students who are applying for abroad, you will need to often get a visa, you'll need some extra documents, and so on. So it's also a good idea to read carefully all the tips that we have on the website that we've collected over the years, because most likely many of those questions will apply to you, actually. You can ask us any questions. It's also a good idea to check on the website of the Czech Embassy what are the requirements, because they may vary from one place to another. And if you come from a country where you are required to get a visa, then my piece of advice is apply as early as possible. Visa process anywhere in the world is very long, so the earlier you do it, the most likely you will get a visa on time and you can come here.
I see. Well, and of course the university can provide whatever support we can to the students who apply for the visa, right?
Absolutely. We do our best to first of all, well, we provide all the documents that usually is being required, like admission letter and some recommendations and so on. We also work with a number of partners, so partners that will help you find accommodation, partners who can help you facilitate the visa process, some lawyers who are good advisors. We have also some partners who will help you with the nostrification process. So we can get you in contact, and if we can do it ourselves, we do it ourselves.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Now, if you actually apply and you successfully enter our program, there is the learning experience for you. And that's the topic of the rest of our talking here today. But before we get to it, we will have a look at another video, this time filmed with Clara, who is one of our international students, who will tell you what it is like to be our student.
Hi, my name is Clara, and I was born in Czech Republic, but I lived my entire life in Spain. I'm half Czech, half Spanish, and why I came to Czech Republic, because something was calling me here, and I think that it was Newton University. I've chosen Newton because of the opportunities and new skills that this school can bring me into my future self. My favorite two subjects are marketing and psychology, because it's going to bring me so many opportunities into my life and internships as well in the future years. Not only the Newton University is the great university to study at, but it's also a really great place to meet other cultures and traditions by the evenings and events that Newton provides, to meet and connect with those that are sharing their culture with us. Join us at Newton University next semester. We will have a lot of fun together. You will meet so many new amazing people, and I'm so excited to welcome you next semester. See you soon.
Hello and welcome back. We continue with our open house day and talking about the international program at the Newton University. Now, I've had here several visitors talking about what is Newton University, what is the international program about, and how great it is to actually study here. But they were all working for the university. So I thought it would be much better to actually ask some of our students directly. And that's why I would like to welcome Vlad. Hi, Vlad.
Hi, Andre.
Hi, you are a third grade student of the international program, right?
Yes, I am.
Yes. And you attended some of my lessons too, so we know each other already because you're one of the international students who actually lives in Prague and attends all the classes in person.
Precisely.
And we're going to talk about the international student life here at the university and in Prague. But before we get to it, I'd like to ask you, why did you actually choose Newton? And does the student life here actually meet your expectations?
Well, thank you so much for having me. I really wanted to study abroad. I had many options, but in the end, it all narrowed down to Czech Republic, and I was deciding what between universities. I didn't hear much about Newton back at the time, and the global business and management program was just starting, so there was not much information, but I was really trying to get as much as possible. I was going over websites, getting feedback from people who already graduated, and I think out of all universities, the Newton had the most information on their website, I think. So even being so far away, I could actually get quite a good understanding of what the program is and what am I expecting from it. I also reached out to some people, and I think I even found some people who are already starting on the Global Business Management program. So it seemed pretty fun to me, so I applied, and then I went to the different rounds of interviews. And at the interviews, I also could actually see the thinking, the process of the university, what are they focusing on, the questions they were asking me. So that actually kind of gave me a perception of where the university is going to lead me to. And then I got in, and I was very happy with my choice.
That's great that you're happy. It's always a problem of meeting the expectations, but you seem to be happy, at least as far as I can tell. But tell me, you have gone through 2/3 of the program so far. Which is your most favorite subject?
I think I'm very sad that in the last year that we don't have any extension of this subject, but my favorite one is psychology. I think it was actually one of those subjects that made my decision to go to Newton even more final, because none of the universities was really focusing on that, and for me it was really interesting to get into this. And then our amazing lecturer was there, and she was really good into showing psychology and their perspective of it on the business side. And overall, not even in business, but in life, it really helps you to be peaceful, to understand the way people think, what is their motivation behind their actions, and how you can influence their decisions, and how you can basically apply all of this knowledge from the 3 semesters that we had the psychology of on basically any sphere of your life. That was, I think, my favorite.
Great, great. Now, you can probably confirm that studying at the university is not just about sitting in the classrooms, right? What is the extracurricular life like for an international student at the Newton?
Well, it is growing year by year. I cannot even keep up with it. But definitely there are some activities that are, we're young, we want to party. There's different parties from university. I think definitely every season or every big event. But for sure, what I really like is that we have different business-themed events. So I know for sure that we have this extreme management, which I'm actually very excited about. I really hope I will get to there this year, but this is a very unique thing to Newton. I don't think anybody else does it, where they don't really advertise exactly what is happening there, because it's quite of a secret that everybody needs to go there to experience it. But from what I understand, it's a great opportunity to figure out what is your decision making in a very, very stressful situation, in a very extreme nature environment. So I think this is really good. I'm really excited about that.
That's right. It's a very interesting product. Now, we're not going to go into any spoils here, right? But we can strongly recommend it. I can strongly recommend it. But there are also other things that international students will naturally worry about. One of them is accommodation. Are there any dormitories, or how is that sorted out?
Well, overall, the accommodation market in Prague is not the easiest as in any European city. But there's definitely the different routes you can go. And as if a person who lives abroad and tries to come here for the first time, you will not have the opportunity to go really and dive into different options. It's better to go with something that may be a bit more expensive, but it will give you the documents and the peace of mind that for some time, the first semester, maybe you will have a good accommodation, even though it might be a bit pricier. And then I would recommend, probably as you're here better, you know the areas, you know exactly what you're looking for. There's plenty of options of shared rooms, apartments, studios, anything. Really, Prague is a very international city, so I don't think it will be an issue for you to communicate with different agencies and whatever. But definitely for the first step, there's plenty of options of dormitories, and Newton also cooperates with different ones, so you can definitely ask your study coordinator and they will help you with this. At least with the documentation, that's for sure. If you don't want to stick with the options provided by uni, they will definitely help you with that.
Yeah, I think that is important. I also used to be an international student, and I know that arranging the accommodation from abroad is a bit of a headache. Another question a typical international student will always ask is, okay, I want to work while studying. I want to make some money to help me support the tuition. Now, how does that work at the university? Does Newton University take into account the workload and time required for the students to actually work somewhere?
Yeah, I think I'm a great example of that, because at first when I just moved here, the first semester I was just adapting. I was living off my savings and trying to get used to the city, and then I felt the need that I really need to start working somewhere. So I actually went to my mentor and I asked for some help with that, and then they arranged me some meetings, some interviews, and this is how I started my career essentially. And this helped me to start my career, obviously, but in regards to the study/work balance, it is perfectly fine. I managed to, I started like my second year, I was just an intern of some sorts. I was doing part-time stuff. And then my fourth semester, my apologies, I started to work almost full-time, and starting this summer I'm working full-time. So I think I will be able to cooperate this with my university anyway. So Newton is great for combining the opportunities of working and studying at the same time.
All right. Now, what kind of job is that?
Right,
quickly, please.
Right now I work with real estate and investment property management.
Wow, that's quite something. So it's not just any kind of office work that's boring.
No. It's actually quite exciting, and I'm very happy that I got to build my first basis here and network here actually. Even within networking within university, if you start doing stuff around here, working at some events if needed, you actually talk with people who are the growing generation of future, entrepreneurs who, with you, might help people, like serve them, show them where to go. But they all have great ideas, and by sharing this experience, getting to know each other, you can have the chance in 2 years, these people who are working with together right now might run a huge corporation, and they will remember you, and they will hire you as well, because you just network when you were just at university.
Great, great. Now, last question. We haven't mentioned from which country you come from.
I'm from Belarus.
From Belarus, excellent. Now, how do you like living in Prague?
I love it. I love it. It is really different, yet it's very similar. I thought it would be more similar, and I really got used to it here, but recently I visited Poland, and I felt that Prague is really different. It is more Central European, I would say, than Eastern. Life here is amazing. I mean, the size of Prague is something that I really like. It's a great base, I would say, with lots of opportunities. The life here in terms of just entertainment is great as well. There is movies being filmed here. There is so many art exhibitions, musicians. Like, all of this is really exciting, especially the theater, everything. Really, Prague is beautiful, and it really spoils you, because then you travel around Europe and you just do not get excited anymore, because your house looks more beautiful than this, this just historical place.
Wow, sounds great. Well, thank you very much. I wish you good luck with all your endeavors, and I hope to see you again in some future lessons.
Thank you so much. I hope to see you too.
Thanks. And I think right now is the time to have a look at another short video, and then we'll answer the questions that arrived from you through the internet. our short break and video on the extracurricular life of our students in Prague. And now is the time to answer the questions that we received through the feedback on internet. I have them here with me, and I welcome back Anna Krausová, who is our Chief International Officer and who is the most competent person to answer the questions that we have received. So let's get to it, shall we?
Definitely.
Perfect. Question number 1. What does the hands-on approach really mean?
Okay, well, I think you could have seen in the video that it ranges from anything to really taking part in the extreme management course. Again, I don't want to give any spoilers, but it does involve a lot of running around in the woods. To anything included, in the actual curriculum of the program, where you have either your mentor or your lecturer who will guide you, help you with any issues, but also really, if you come up with a great business idea, will really take you by the hand, take you to the business accelerator, and there you'll get the hands-on support to get your business off the ground, for example.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. Now, the second question is coming actually back to combining the internship or work outside the university and the actual studying.
Mm-hmm.
How can the students combine it? What's the secret?
Well, I guess we'd have to invite Vlad back to really tell you the secret to that. But the course is really designed to allow our students to combine academic and professional opportunities. The internship for the bachelor program is actually compulsory. So it's designed, the course itself is really designed around giving space. For this, we have colloquia at the end where students actually present the experience and what they learned from the internship, so there's definitely no problem in finding time for this. And also the schedule of the lectures and seminars is really designed to work around the work schedule. We have students from the Czech Republic and Slovakia as well who follow the course online. As was said before by my colleague Jerome, it is in real time, but they can actually connect online if they can't leave the workplace, for example. So there's really a lot of opportunities to do that.
Yeah, okay. I think that is quite important. Question number 3 that we have received here is, what are the ways for integration with the whole students' community? We need to say that the majority of the students at the Newton University are Czechs or people who study in the Czech program. Then the minority are the international student programs, but we do take care of them and help them to integrate, right?
Of course. Again, there are a lot of ways. Anything from involving, students in the Czech programs actually in the curriculum of the English taught program. So we have subjects, probably my favorite is psychology as well, and it's one of the psychology for managers. It's one of the subjects where Czech students, students in the Czech taught programs, can choose to follow it either in Czech or in English. So they actually join the international English-speaking students in the classroom, and already that provides opportunities for networking and friendship building. We also have a buddy system. Of course, the mentoring. Your mentor is matched to you exactly based on the kind of needs you might have, whether it is to really learn more about Czech culture, get integrated into this, and your mentor really shows you, again, takes you by the hand to show you the ecosystem that we talked about before here at Newton. You might have also seen in the video, we had events like international evenings where the countries of origin of our students or our lecturers were represented, whether that's Ireland or Mexico. So there's myriad of opportunities to really get integrated into life at Newton.
Thank you. Another question, and this one is really about the exams. Do students get any aids that help them to revise materials before the exams? I guess this really refers to the students attending the classes, then needing to revise whatever they have learned, again, because we've all studied, we all know that we don't remember everything that we hear at the classes, but just before the exams we need some help, right?
Well, I suppose everyone learns in a different way, but there are study support materials that students can access. Again, it depends on the course, how that's exactly structured. Also because the courses are taught in a hybrid mode, we have recordings of the lectures. So if you really did forget everything, you can watch the lecture again, you can access all the sort of study support materials. And the worst case scenario, you can apply to take your exam again.
That's how many times?
That's a secret.
That's a secret, all right. All right, good. Now, one more question that we have here is, how international are the classes? What about students' nationalities?
Well, I guess I already mentioned Mexico. We have students really from all over the world, from Vietnam to Australia. And you really can study the program from anywhere in the world. So students who are online, again, cover a variety of countries. We have applicants and students from Panama as well. I really could start listing a lot of countries to really illustrate the variety. It's not, of course, just the country of origin of the students. We try to bring the best of sort of world education to the classroom here at Newton, including the Anglo-Saxon approach. We have courses where students actually have to learn or practice essay writing, because the art of persuasion isn't just useful for the essay writing, but any meeting or pitch that you might want to make, you need to persuade others to follow your ideas. So it really is that international mix.
Okay, okay. And just perhaps one last question. If you had the choice of studying online from abroad or in person here in the Czech Republic, which one would you choose and why?
Well, I guess that's a difficult question for me because I am originally from the Czech Republic. I guess I would definitely take the opportunity of moving to various countries, traveling and following the courses online. But even for our online students who want to, they could visit us at any time, really, of the year in the summer to see and to meet everyone. But I guess I would actually follow the online, and that could be anywhere.
That's right. Thanks to the new technologies and the modern world. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
And I guess that's it for today. If you've stayed us until now, thank you very much. I hope you found it interesting. If you have any other questions that you would like to ask, please write to us, call us, visit our website, or check our YouTube channel where new videos appear regularly. And I hope to see you perhaps one day in our classes. Thank you very much and have a great day.